Some so-called socialists admire and advocate authoritarianism. Some so-called socialists constantly defend highly authoritarian regimes. Some so-called socialists insist that a socialist government must be led by an authoritarian political elite. It is these socialists who are often referred to as tankies. A significant portion of the socialist left consists of tankies. Many self-proclaimed socialists are tankies. The reality is that tankies are not socialists. The ideology that is advocated by tankies is not socialist. The ideology advocated by tankies is anti-socialist. The capitalist class are those who own and control the means of production. The working class are those who work the means of production. Socialism abolishes the class divide between the capitalist class and the working class. Socialism describes worker ownership of and control over the means of production. The goal of socialism is a society, economy, and government that is by and for the working class. This is totally incompatible with the deranged, blood-soaked fantasies of the tankie. The workers should govern. The tankie, however, prefers a ruthless strongman dressed in red. The authoritarian policies and dictatorial leadership favoured by the tankie is totally incompatible with the socialist ideal. Authoritarian policies and dictatorial leadership is incompatible with worker ownership of and control over the means of production. You cannot have a society by and for the workers that is governed with an iron fist by an authoritarian political elite. The tankies seek to reinvent the very class divide that socialism seeks to abolish. Socialism is about a worker-owned and controlled means of production. The tankies advocate and admire a means of production that is presided over by an authoritarian political elite. This authoritarian political elite represents a reinvention of the capitalist class, a new set of masters for the working class. There is nothing socialist about this. The tankies advocate limitations on democracy. There is nothing socialist about the idea that the workers are too stupid to govern themselves. If you believe that the working class needs to be guided and shepherded by some kind of benevolent tyrant, you are no socialist. This condescending view betrays a disdain for the working class. The tankie regards the working class as too stupid to hold power and govern themselves. The workers holding power and governing themselves is the entire purpose of socialism. Yet the tankie believes that the workers are too stupid to hold power and govern themselves. This is made very obvious by tankie support for some kind of benevolent tyrant who will supposedly look after the workers. Of course, such tyrants never do look after the workers. These tyrants are as brutal as the most vicious of capitalists. There is nothing socialist about forcing workers to live beneath the boot of a dictator. There is nothing socialist about withholding political power from the working class. There is nothing socialist about regarding the working class as too stupid to govern themselves. There is nothing socialist about terrorizing the working class with purges and detainment. There is nothing socialist about crushing the liberty of the working class. And tankies defend all of these things. Tankies advocate and admire brutal purges, major limitations on democracy, significant restrictions on freedom of speech, political imprisonment, indoctrination, and total government control of information. All of these things are anti-socialist. They condemn the working class to be dominated by an authoritarian political elite. And so a new capitalist class is born, a new set of brutal oppressors. Tankies are not allies of socialism. Tankies are enemies of socialism. Socialism is not about an authoritarian political elite dominating the state. Socialism is about a society that is governed by and for the working class. That is the reality, and those who cannot accept it are the enemy of socialism.